This video will show you how to search for and download ebooks from a web-based site called Tarheelreader.com. So I'm going to start just by opening up any web browser. In this case, I'm going to use Chrome. And in my top menu bar, I'm going to type in www.tarheelreader.org. So tarheelreader.org. Okay, so you'll see that this is Tarheel's homepage. And if all I'm looking for are perhaps some kind of ebooks to parallel some content that's happening in the student's general education classroom, I just go to Find a Book. Okay, and up here you can see I have some search options. I'm going to start by just typing in, let's say that my student is studying volcanoes. I'm just going to do a search for volcanoes. You can see here that I can also search by topic. So if you're having a hard time finding something, you might want to use this to narrow your search. Here I can include reviewed or include unreviewed. Reviewed meaning that somebody has just reviewed the books prior to them being put on Tarheelreader. Sometimes I like to do include unreviewed because it gives me more options. Of course, you can search by rating, and then obviously search by your English. You can see there's a number of different languages available. So I've got my volcanoes. I've looked at my search options. I'm just going to say search. Okay. And you can see here quite a few came up, and I'm just going to kind of start digging and try to pick one that I feel would be appropriate for my student. I'm going to look at this one here called About Volcanoes. The nice thing about Tarheelreader is before I download it, I can view it online to see if I feel as though it would be appropriate for my student. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on this book to open it.
About volcanoes.
Okay. And so a couple options with Tarheelreader. First thing is students can look at and listen to this book right on the site. Okay, in order for them to do that, you're going to need to make sure that the voice is turned on for them. So you saw when I opened this, mine started reading right away. If yours does not, you need to turn that option on. So I'm going to go up here to my settings, and under speech, if I click on that, you want to make sure that it's on either child, woman, or man, whatever would be appropriate for your student. Obviously, if it's on silent, it will not read. Okay. So right now, I could either view this to make sure it's appropriate. I could have my student read it online as well. So you see this is the first page. For the student to view the next page, they just click on next.
A volcano is an opening in the earth. Volcanoes can form tall like a mountain.
Okay.
Volcanoes can form low like a big hole in the ground.
So that is how a student would interact with this online. It reads out loud, the student turns the pages. Okay. So I like this book, but I see that there are a few changes that I would like to make to it. Okay. So in order for me to make changes to this book, I need to download it. So I'm going to go back to that cover page of this book.
A volcano is an opening in the earth. About volcanoes.
And you can see when I go back to this page, I'm back up and have my settings option here. So I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to this time say download, because this is going to enable me to download this book. It's going to download it into a PowerPoint format, and then in turn I can change anything that I'd like to, whatever you feel would be appropriate for your students. I'm going to select download. And two options I have here are PowerPoint and EPUB. So because I'm working on a PC, I'm going to select PowerPoint. So when I select PowerPoint, you can see the download starting right down here. It's ready. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go up here and select Enable Editing. So you can see here it opened it right up in a PowerPoint. It's a very typical PowerPoint format. You are all probably very familiar with that. But what's nice about this is now I can change any of the content. I could change pictures if I wanted to. Whatever I would feel would be appropriate for my student, I could probably change. So I'm going to start by just taking this out. Okay. And I am going to decide that I do not want all of these capitalized. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and make some of these changes. Okay, so I've made a few changes. Okay, and so after you've made your changes, you want to make sure that you save this for your student so that they can read it with the changes that you've made. So I'm just going to go ahead and go File, Save As. I'm just going to throw it out on my desktop. And save it. So now options that I would have for a student interacting with this book, I could just simply print it off, have a student read it that way. You also have the options of students reading or listening to this book using a program like PowerTalk, which would just read the PowerPoint aloud to the students. A lot of different ways you can interact. So with Tarheelreader, you can do it right online. Student just listens to the book online. You can download it and just print it, or you can download it and use it with a program like PowerTalk. And we do have separate videos made for using and downloading PowerTalk as well. Thank you.